Good morning. Good morning. Let's go ahead and get Instagram started. I am Jackie Glass, Mama. Well, let's get Instagram started before we start talking about who I am. Hold on. There we go. There we go. I'm so happy to see y'all this morning. It has been a bit. Last week I was under the weather, so I was not able to be very participatory in this whole thing. But I'm so happy to be back at it. Today is the best day, I guess, as good as any to do the work that we plan to do. I am Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. Getting at it this morning with y'all. Getting at it this morning this with y'all. It's been a minute, right? Like, I want you to, because we are it's been a pretty we're in the end of the first quarter of 2025. I'm just putting it out there, y'all. We're in the end of the first quarter. March will be the end of the first quarter of 2025. Tell me what you feel really good about that you've done in this first quarter of the new year. What you got? Drop it in the chat. I need to know. I can tell you I am feeling so good about the work that we did up in Richmond. Listen. Oh, good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm feeling so good, and I need y'all to express what you feel good about this first quarter because we got to get some small wins. I today want to talk with y'all about the power of our dollar in politics and why every cent counts. But I want to tell you what I've been going through the last week. You all know that, well, if you don't know, let me explain a little bit that while I'm done in Richmond, that means that all of the bills that were passed from every legislator in this 2025 session are now on their way. The Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker of the House, they enroll all of the bills which go to the governor's desk. So they're headed to all those bills are headed to governor's desk. I work really hard. And I have a bill, and you guys probably read a lot about it. Strategically, I had a tax increase on this bill to get some real negotiating with the folks that be to tell them that I'm serious about fixing these flooded streets. In conjunction, I'm serious about these tolls. I'm serious about the secondary roads. I'm serious about people getting where they need to be. The only way I had access to the things that like I have today is because public transit was on point and there was a way to get everywhere when I lived in the Chicagoland area. If I lived in Chicago Heights, I could get to the city in 15, 20 minutes. I can get there by bus, by train, by car, all the things. So, and are good. Are you getting, no, my batteries are not getting recharged. I was really sick last week. Kristen asked on when I recharging. No, I wasn't. Good morning. Today will be a great day. But I'm not getting rest. And I'm going to tell you why. Is because this past week, I've had the powers of, even secretariats trying to kill my bill because they didn't expect me to get it done. Have you ever had that where people did not expect you to get something done, and when you do, they're surprised? And I wouldn't think that transportation would be controversial. I didn't, but this is a thing that needs to happen. The region agrees, boards of supervisors, the mayors, but people actually thought I wasn't going to be able to get it done. And they've said that out loud, and now they're shocked that they have to support it because they said they did, or that they were against it, hoping that they could put the roadblocks in the way. So I got this bill that has really fired me up about being it has fired me up about not being my husband. We talk, my spouse, it's like not being the underdog, but have people having the expectation that you cannot do something. And that bill went out with the Senate with not unanimous support in the Senate and Republican votes in the House. And so they're flabbergasted as to how the hell I got that support. I'm going to explain to y'all how I got that support. I do not carry things that I do not believe in. I've done it once. That was this session, and it was just because, they asked me to do it. It really wasn't something, and I was like, you know what, I could go ahead and do it. But I don't carry the. When you see my lineup of bills, and if you are confused about it or you got questions, I'm telling you, ask me. I got a reason, and I work every bill. at least I do my best. There are bills that if I keep bringing them back, I probably don't work them as hard because I'm reminding people, hey, I brought this before. I'm going to keep doing it to you. But anyway, I just wanted to say that out loud. I thought I was angry about this fight that I'm in right now for this bill because I've got to call the governor's office. I've got to call the secretariat. I've got to call business leaders. I've got to call residents. I've got to call all these people. I'm still working this bill, and as it makes its way to the governor's desk on April 2nd. And I want y'all to keep that in your mind. On April 2nd, what is going to happen is the governor will get to see all the changes and anything that the governor has vetoed that came across where we did some really good work. It's a phenomenal budget. There's some phenomenal bills. And I cannot wait to tell you, I'm like withholding right now because there's some things I can't wait to tell you what actually makes it through. One thing that's my favorite that's in the budget is like $1,000 bonus to educators. The problem with me saying that right now is like, I'm not going to get y'all worked up. We worked hard. Our teams worked really hard to make sure we had a people-centered budget, but the governor can come in and just veto that stuff, right? Or say we're not going on, or not sign off on the budget. We are co-equal branches of government. So he gets a say too. And overturning a veto is really hard, especially when we have a slim majority, which is why I'm going to talk about the power of the dollar in politics and why every cent counts. So we have to work this year towards a trifecta where we have a governor in the governor's mansion that is there, and a house, because the governor and the House of Delegates that is there and committed to the things that we are committed to for real. So like, I was big mad yesterday. I was like, why are they up again? And it isn't up against me. It is the fact that it is sometimes you got to embrace being the underdog. Sometimes you have to embrace, and I'm saying this to y'all to embrace the fact that your work, while it may seem like the thing that you do, can be unprecedented. And that's what I'm finding. I'm like, this is just, look, this is any given Sunday for my folks that have been deployed. Y'all know, like, what? This is, anyway, yes. So, my mom's in the next room. My mom said, happy born day. Yes, happy born day. It is my birthday, but I don't like to celebrate it. I want everyone to say happy birthday to my mother. I believe that she has 5 birthdays. After I had my first kid, I stopped celebrating my birthday because I realized the work that my mom put into getting me here, and I feel like she deserves to be honored. So Audrey Hamler, happy birthday to you. You did an amazing thing. I was born at 3:24 p.m. and you did it 5 times. And so I'm so grateful to you. Yes. So I don't celebrate. I'm just saying that I don't celebrate my birthday. Other people do, and I honor that. But I tend to ask that if you want to do anything for me on my birthday, which is today, you just tell my mom that we are so proud of her. And we are so grateful for her and for all of the things that she did to give us the best opportunities, all 5 of her children and herself, and for showing me what it means to stand up, and showing me what it means to still find joy in your life, even when you're in struggle. A core memory of mine, y'all, and I'm keeping my mama's name up there, Miss Audrey. A core memory of my mind is my mom standing on top of a car in front of, she worked for Ford Motor Company, and she was part of UAW, the United Auto Workers. And I remember there was like some stuff going on, and she was standing on top of a car at Union Hall. Mama, I do remember that she was standing on top of this car at Union Hall and just like giving people the business. And so, Mom, thank you for bringing me into this world some 40 plus years ago. And thank you for being an amazing example of a woman on a mission, a woman that knows how to love while she's on that mission, knows how to have a good time, and knows how to be of service. You are the best of us, right? Oh, Mom, you're getting all the happy birthdays on Instagram. I appreciate you. All right, let's get back into it because we got some stuff, right? We got some stuff. So love you, Mom. Okay, so Mr. Little, you said, do we have to steal a Democrat? Do we still have the Democratic Party the way that Trump talks? He is the man and nothing else matters. Well, yeah, I mean, to his people, he's the man. I mean, that's real, right? just the way, and I'm gonna tell you this, like let me put in some perspective for y'all with what the boldness in which the Trump administration is moving is because they are confident about what they're doing. They've seen the books, they've done the things, they're very confident. But I'm gonna tell y'all this, let's be real clear. You imagine how they felt when Barack Obama got elected. It was the end of the goddamn world, right? So I just want, like, for the same feelings that we're having about the President Toddler right now, the same feelings that we're having, they had in a very, like, oh my God, how offensive was the Affordable Care Act, right? how like, think about that. They thought it was the end of the world that this one Black man became president, and he served 2 terms, right? Like, so this too shall pass, but we have to stay focused. And I know it feels like, even with the Supreme Court win yesterday, right? That just said yesterday, the Supreme Court was like, nah, B, guess what you got to do? You're gonna have to go ahead and pay out that money that was already allocated to for USAID. This is why I think that there's a civics lesson that needs to be happening. That I am very hopeful for the Supreme Court to do their job with the letter of the law. Like, that's hard to say because it is stacked, but look at the decision that just came out yesterday. This is why we have checks and balances, right? The legislature holds the purse. The president holds the executive function. The judicial branch ensures that all of those things, that the purse and the laws that are put forth are followed. This is why we have that. So, like, really understand, he's going to do everything. Think about a toddler. This is why I call him President Toddler, is because a toddler, it does not have the emotional maturity to regulate themselves. They say sometimes the weirdest things, right? The first thing that comes to their mind. They say, they do all the things, right? And we all think, sometimes when they do stuff, oh, that's so cute. And that's his people, right? President, they do that to him. Like, that's real. So, like, just, we don't know how it's going to play out, right? We don't know whether once this is all said and done, he bucks the system and is like, F that. I'm not going to do this or that. This is why I am saying, this is why before when I talked about this, is why we have to hyper localize our efforts, right? This is why we have to do that. Okay. So I want to get into the power of the purse and make sure there are no more questions or comments. I'm looking, I see, Kristen Wheeler says, let we forget that Trump won by a very slim margin, one of the slimmest in history. Yeah, I think since Richard Nixon, I think they were saying. I think I remember that. That is absolutely true. And what I want you to remember in that is that means that we are truly a purple country right now. We are divided. And politics is making us even more divided. But what is going to happen based off what happened, based off what I'm feeling, right? My feelings don't matter. They are not fact. But based off what I'm feeling is that a lot of his supporters are going to wake up and realize that they too were lied to, right? That there are people that didn't necessarily see the racism, sexism, or bigotry as the main problem. They had other things that they prioritize, and I know that people do that with Dems too. Like they don't prioritize some same attributes, but they're picking because of the policy. They're picking because of this. They will wake up and it's like, damn, he was never for us. It was never about Democrat or Republican. It was about money in the bank, right? That's why we have this goddamn gold visa. I mean, so what happens if the cartel decides that they're gonna start buying visas? Like, what are we even talking about? If you got money, you can get in. So yes. Look, so yep, as Sulliette, I hope I said that right, says we need to organize the way we did for Obama. The ground game must be ironclad. You are so right. Ground game is everything. I'm gonna need some help though. We're gonna need some help. I got work, but I gotta get myself back on the ballot, which is where I'm trying to get over sickness and get at it. So you are right. Ground game matters, right? Helping, being very clear on what is happening, what isn't happening, what we can do about it, and what's within our controls, making sure people are barking up the right tree. David James Glass says, any consequences if he defies the Supreme Court order. We're going to have to see. Remember, it is unprecedented the way that our system of government our republic is being tested, right? Like the fire is when you told that toddler don't touch the fire, that toddler woke up and touched that fire and got burned. And maybe that burning did not do anything. They were like, oh, we gonna fix it and I'm gonna do it again. I can't pretend that I have an answer for if he defies that or what he's going to do. But I can tell you what we can do and how it's hyper local and that how we can prepare ourselves. Because as Kristen Wheeler said, it's scary how Trump's staunchest supporters are foaming at the mouth with their bigotry. Yeah, it is. But I can just tell you, living it, it's always been there. It's always been there. It's always been there. Even on our on this side of the aisle, there are people that say and do things that it's like, dang, do you hear yourself? It's always been there. They're just emboldened, and I know that can feel jarring for a lot of people that may not have faced. If you're not a person that faced that regularly or interacted with it in a very real way, I know that there are isms that we all have to deal with. It does not surprise me. It's just like, wow, let them out, bring them out. Sarah, so good to see you. Hey, Taekwon, Charger, I will. Because he's doing it first doesn't mean it's legal. Yep, doesn't mean it's legal. So let's talk about the power. Let's talk about the power let us talk about the power of our dollar in politics and why every cent counts, because this man is getting his power from somewhere. I want you to drop an emoji in the chat if you ever felt like your one little vote or your donation doesn't matter. Drop an emoji in the chat, and you're welcome, Mr. Little. I'm trying to clear up all the things that I can. Right? Drop an emoji in the chat if you've ever felt that way. Right? So I really do want to talk about money. This is the real piece that I'm learning. I hate this part, but it's real, right? Not just money, not just any money, but your money, that money that you have worked so hard for. And that is not going as far as it used to. Stretched way too daggum thin. That's what I feel like. My dollars are stretched so thin. Every single day, it feels like. And I want to help you understand how the dollar or the lack of it is shaping our democracy, because it is. And I want to be real clear and real upfront. If we don't put our money in the game, we don't get to play. And that sounds so disgusting, but it is. And if we're not in the game, we will lose. And that is a fact. That is a fact. And I'll say time and treasure too, right? It's time and it's treasure. And I know some of us are already feeling it. Prices are up. They are all set to go higher. Groceries are up, gas are up. And I hate to say it, but a lot of there are things that it's probably going to get worse when we talk about tariffs, aka the stuff we import, right? Taxes on the stuff we import, because I know y'all hearing that, and that's what tariffs are. The taxes on the stuff we import. They're about to hit, and guess who's going to pay for it? Not the goddamn billionaires. And let me say this about billionaires, and they are the minority. If we think about the minority people here in this conversation of doing and in our democracy and our republic, they are the minority by far. The thing that they have is the power of their daughter, and we're going to pay for it. That's you, that's me, that's all of us. And so that's why I had to talk. That's why I'm talking about the tariffs piece when I say I'm here. Okay, so no, my brain, it's like, why you talk about tariffs when you're here to talk about political donations? Because this is the system, right? That is why we're talking about political donations, but this is the system. Money moves strategically, and people like President Toddler, whether you love him or hate him, didn't rise to power because of his Twitter account. He had money. You need to grab stuff, just grab all around me. He had people willing to put their money where their interests were. And let me say that, putting their money where their interests were. So now let's talk about it. Number one, actually, let me look at some of these comments, because I do got a packed day today. David says, I'm worried that Trump is bad isn't going to work as a campaign. Yeah, it's not. I'm thinking we got to get the Harris sit outs back in the game, appeal to moderate Dems and angry public. You are right. Because like I said, there are going to be tons of people that are going to wake up and realize, shit, he lied to me. Like he didn't care about me. It was just about getting me to vote. And now he's doing everything that's against my interests. And that's why I'm saying getting people to understand, getting votes and money and power where their interests are. That is a fact. And I've talked to people who have voted Republican that said, I just cannot believe it. They feel lied to. And that's not going to be everyone, because some of them still are like, as long as you get rid of them brown folks, anybody with some melanin in their skin, like I'm cool. Like that's the life I want to live until it hits them. So you are right. Only 60 years since civil rights movements, I saw a great post on LinkedIn by VMI alum where he said, light is the best antiseptic. Yes, and that's why I'm like, we genuinely have to be able to articulate exactly how these things are hitting people, because to David's point, you can't just say Trump is bad, because there are people who don't believe that he's bad. He's not bad. He's doing his job. He's executing his executive power. Fair. Dems want to lower taxes and less government regulations. We also want less wasteful spending. Maybe we meet the head. That's, oh my goodness, I can't tell you. And I cannot tell you enough how I was like, we have to be very careful about what we say, because I understand waste, fraud, and abuse. In the military, we had a hotline we could call when we saw waste, fraud, and abuse. That is so fair. So yes. Oh, look at this. So Kristen Wheeler said the bigots are tried to light him up, but all they did was reveal themselves. I guess the point is that I was happy to see support from Black folks within the white male military population. Yeah, for sure. Right. So let's go through why this matters. Oh, Lisa, hi. Yes, we do need to connect. We will. We do. Hey, Derek. So here we go. Number one, we're talking about they put their money where their interests are. This is why I say this is wild, but it's true. Why your $5 matters more than their 500,000. Are you ready for this? Right? Your $5 matters way more than their 500,000. They are one vote. We are collective. If you have ever donated to a political campaign or any campaign, drop a $sign in the chat if you've ever done it, or something, or a $sign or a dollar emoji. When some people hear that word political donations and they think they don't have that kind of, I don't have that kind of money. I used to be that person. I'm just telling you. But here's the truth: when everyday people give even a little, it adds up so fast, and we've seen it. Right? We've seen it. And yes, social capital is a part of that. Here's the deal. Big donors, they write big checks to protect their interests. But you've got something that they don't have. Numbers. We've got numbers, and the power in number beats the power in wealth, and we have to be able to use it. Case in point, in 2020, small donors, people like you and me, giving less than $200 or less, outspent billionaires. But that only happens when we show up. So we can spend, but we have to, because they can give $500 in their one vote, and we can give $5 a piece and be 500 votes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? Get what I'm saying? Okay. So if we don't, the game goes right back to them. And if they remove us from the game, then people like me and others who fight and fuss and work and advocate and collaborate every day get squeezed out, because we cannot afford to stay in. And then we lose power to protect what we already have. That is a fact. I'm just telling you, like right now, like I'm stressed out because there are things that I have to take care of for anyway, that's it. So understand that your $5 beats their $500,000 any day. Number two, what happens if we don't fund our own? This is the kicker. What happens when we don't fund our own? Thank you for y'all who dropped the dollars in the chat. I appreciate that. So let me ask you this. What's one thing in Virginia politics that makes you feel hopeful? Drop that in the chat. One thing in Virginia politics, and I'm saying Virginia specifically because I need to keep it home, that makes you feel hopeful. And here's where I'm about to get blunt with you. I'm just saying, is that if we don't fund our own people and we don't keep our own people in power, that's fair. If we don't fund our own people, then we don't keep our power. And if we don't keep our own people in power, we don't get to have a say in the laws that shape our lives. That is true. And this is not about me. It's about making sure that folks that are fighting for you don't get drowned out by the ones that are fighting against you. And listen, I don't just raise money for myself. I don't. But I'm out here trying to make sure that some of the most vulnerable seats, because I'm telling you, the House, we got to get this majority and we got to pick up seats. I'm also trying to protect the vulnerable seats in this purple, this violet Virginia that we are, ones that keep Virginia sane. I love that we are purple. And I'm actually talking about making sure that if or when the United States starts to looking a little less unified, that Virginia still has leaders in place to hold the line. We got to still have leaders in place to hold the line. I'm looking at some of those issues that you are. Oh, me, I give you hope. Come on now, don't you get me in here crying. I just turned a year older today. I'm not leaving. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm having real conversations about life, and I'm telling y'all that too. I want you to understand, right? But that's why small contributions matter. That's why people like you matter, because we have to keep this stay solid no matter what's happening on top. No matter what is happening on top. Do you hear me? And I love to hear it. David says, you and some young Dems in VA, Delegate Cole, who is actually, y'all actually interact with people on social. It's huge. Okay, that's good. And I'm always going to do my best. I'm always going to do my best, right? I assure you. We can grow more. Yes, can we grow? How can we grow more candidates? That's a great question, because I think about succession. Yes, and I do have an update on civic education. Kristen, I'll put you in the know on the team because I've done some lessons plans, and we're just trying to get a learning management system to be able to put the training up on civics. Okay, number 3, because I got to get through this. I got to get to my appointment. When money is tight, how do we still build power? That is tough, right? Like, so let me ask you this. What's something you already trade, share, or barter in your life? Put it in the chat. Tell me, what's something that you already trade, barter, or share in your life? Put it in the chat right now. Put it in the chat right now. And I'm going to tell you, I know some of you are thinking, I want to help, but money is tight. I hear you, but I'm feeling it too. This is where we have to be creative. We have to really get creative. Let's start talking about, oh, I love it. Childcare. Oh, yes. Bartering. Okay, so the barter system, if you don't remember, if you can't donate dollars, can you donate skills? Can you offer a service in exchange for someone doing something the same? Can you swap childcare, right? Tutoring, graphic design, transportation, or something else? The barter system is a way, okay? Right? Community investment. Think beyond politics. What if your neighborhood pooled money together to buy a freezer full of bulk groceries and split it? Somebody got that Costco card and we all putting our money in so they go to Costco and do this, right? I'm trying to help you in the aspect of things are tight. What if we created community emergency funds? So if someone's lights go out, we fix it, because a lot of the nonprofits that we see, like people, the stuff, like I said before, if you watch my other posts, is that the things that we once relied on, they're fading a bit. So I don't want people to have to choose between power and food. And I want to have good people in. What about collective candidate support? What if 50 people commit $5 a month? Now that's $250. Now imagine if 500 of us did it. That's real money. That's a real impact. That's a real money. That's a real impact. So we can't afford to just sit back and hope that things are going to work out. We cannot do that. We have to move our money with intention, right? We have to move our capital. Let me say that, because some of you guys talked about food, childcare, that you're about mentorship, all these things. David, David said cannabis, LOL, we share legally, saves money. But I'm serious, right? I love to be able to barter for home repairs, small scale, similar to adult sharing. Yes, 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 yes. So that's what I'm saying. It is going to get tight, but how can you still build power when money is tight? Yes, we grow the goddamn micro economy, David. Yes, that is a fact. The pandemic taught us that we can do this. Oh, I love it. Nathan said, listen, he bought time. Time. That's what I'm talking about. Mom, thank you. You care for, that's beautiful. What did you say here? You care for a delegate this election coming up. We need the village. Yeah. We volunteer money. The doers, let the doers get more done. Let the doers get, I feel very strongly about that, about us as doers. But yes, if the pandemic taught us one thing is that we're fully capable of getting things done without. We're fully capable. So what now what, you guys? You know that I love the so what now what because I got to get moving. So what now what? What can you do? So now, tell me in the chat, what's one thing that you can do this week to use your dollar or your skills for power? And I'm not even saying power for me. I would love it if you contribute. And actually, if you go to the link in the bio or you go to Delegate Jackie, well, actually, there's a donate button up. I would love for you to contribute to my campaign. I would love for you to put me in your budget, $5 a month, $10 a month. However, what I'm asking you here, what I'm asking you in this moment is, sorry, mama. What I'm asking you in this moment is, what can you do to use your dollar or skills this week to build power? For power, because we have to be comfortable with saying that we want power, because that's what we want. All right, so here is your action plan. Are you ready? I'm gonna give you 4 things, and I'm gonna close up out of here because I gotta run. I really gotta run. Getting out of here. I'm doing it. Number 1, if you can donate to a political campaign, I need you to do it. Even if it's small, even if it's only once a month, even if every dollar is a message, every dollar is a vote, right? It sends a message. Every donor is a vote. Not every dollar. Because like you said, your 5 can outweigh that 500,000. If you can donate to a political campaign, I'm asking you to do it. I'm asking you to do it, period. We've got Commonwealth's attorney, sheriff, House of Delegates, lieutenant governor, attorney general, governor, all on the ballot. I need you to find your place in space. You got it. I need you to do that. Number 2, if you can't donate, find another way. Offer skills, barter, or find a way to collectively pool resources with each other. This is what I'm giving you. How can you collectively do that thing? Can you do that? I actually need people. If you're interested, hit me up. I got to get my signatures to get on the ballot. I need help. I need a bunch of people to come. We got to get signatures for people in our district. So that I have to get 100. I try to get 200 signatures for people that live in my district so that I can get on the ballot. And I've been sick and all the things, and I love knocking doors. I want to do it all by myself. I would, so I can meet every person, but that's not happening. So I'm asking you for that. If you got time, DM me this weekend because we're going to be on some doors getting signatures. If you live in the district and you have people in your neighborhood that you can take a couple sheets and get them signed, all you're doing is saying, hey, it's okay for her to be on my ballot. Cousin, thank you. Yes, tell my mama happy birthday. I appreciate you, cousin. That's my cousin, Chris. Kristen said, I'm glad you're getting over your ick about fundraising. I have to. This is dire times. Kristen, I'd gladly pay taxes. I pay tax on barter. 5% though, nothing. No. Yes. Okay. Listen, I'm telling you, David, I'm fighting for you on that. When I told Krizik, I was like, I'm gonna vote for this bill, but this can't be. This on, and I think I tried to negotiate to say, like, look, why are we taxing the paraphernalia in this kind of way? So I'm going to need you. I'm going to call you in on that. Okay. All right. So number three, I need you to talk to people. Okay. Talk to your people. If you have 5 friends that don't normally donate, explain to them why this very moment matters. You got to start the conversation. That is a part of your power. Can you do that? Yes, you can. I'm asking you, and I need you to say it in your mind, yes, I can. Number 4, I need you to keep your eye on these local races too. The big fights start small. If you've got a mayor, a sheriff, a Commonwealth's attorney that don't buy into the bull, you're in a better place than the folks that do, because they're trying to implement right on the ground right now. Pay attention to what's happening in your own backyard. I'm saying this again. Pay attention to what is happening in your own backyard. You can get so caught up in USAID that ain't even touching your life right now. And I'm sorry, right? If you care about what's going on it's not in your own back right now. We have to centralize local power. Okay, those 4 things. Okay, so I need y'all to hear me when I say this. This is absolutely not the time to sit back and watch. This is absolutely not the time to sit back and watch. We are in a season where people are strategizing against us, but also strategizing for us. What is your thing? What matters? I need you to hold on to this. But however, if we do this right, if we invest in each other, if we make sure the right people stay in the right seats, and if we keep our money moving for good, then we hold the line. This is about interest. Because at the end of the day, no matter what happens nationally, we are the protectors of Virginia. And if we become the United States, the United Countries of America, Virginia is what we have to protect. And I don't know about you, but I'm not about to let somebody sit up here and decide what happens in my home. I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that I'm doing what I can. I am here to fight, collaborate, to advocate. I'm here to work with people. I work with people on different sides of the aisles too. We find common ground. Know that everybody's not bought into the bull. Okay, we got to work with people that may not carry a total same belief system as us. We don't. There are purity tests, but they don't need to be. We need to be in the business of interest here. So before I go, I'm looking. I heard from Krizik. Oh, beautiful. Oh, thank you, Janice. Thank you, Miss Janice. Craig heard from Krizik. He said he was taking it out of the bill next year. He said he'll send me a revised bill primary. Thank you. Every voice matters. Oh, good. I told you I try, right? We try. And sometimes it's just conversation. What David's talking about is he had a problem with a bill that came forth this year. He got in my neck on the live. And in my email was like, this is wrong. And I went and talked to the person, and he talked about how, look, I think this is something. He agreed with David, and he is committed. He told me the same thing, that he's going to take it out next year. So like the power of that voice, give it up, y'all. Give it up for David James Glass, like the power of that voice. So yes, the power lies at the local level. Yes, calendar, do a community cleanup in Chesapeake, Cromwell. Oh, I'm here for it. I actually have a young man, and I'm Sarah, there's a young man that's doing his community project for school, and he wants to do community cleanups. So like we should connect, because I told him we can get with Keep Norfolk Beautiful and do some cleanups. Those things, y'all have to find joy. Y'all, we have to find joy. Like, I'm gonna tell you some reckless stuff I did, but it was a joyful moment. I was like up my life and went to a concert in New Jersey with my daughter for K-pop, because I was like, I don't know when she's gonna be able to have fun like this again. So I did it. It cost me, but I did it on a whim. Find joy, but do the work. All right. Okay. So last thing, drop a fist in the chat if you are with me. Drop a fist in the chat with me, and let's get to work. Okay. Okay. That's how I feel. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I am Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District, honored and grateful to serve, and with gratitude. I'll catch y'all on the flippity flop. Go do your thing. Go do your thing, right? Do your thing today. You got all the things to do. Go do it. I'm going to do mine. You do yours. Peace.